They were outstanding today or this afternoon, so it was beautiful. It was good to get back in the swing of things. I thought the guys knocked a little rust off early and then kept working, and I thought finished up strong. I thought our defense did an outstanding job. George led us with the 3 sacks, but there were 8 team sacks overall, and that doesn't normally happen against a great offense like they've got. So my hat goes off to Spags as the plan he had, and then again the players for executing it. Justin led us with in tackles, and McDuffie had the 3 pass breakups that were tremendous too to go with it. Offensively, you probably need to start with Trav with 7 catches for 117 yards, a touchdown, and he just, that's why he's the greatest tight end there's been. So Kareem, I'm trying to read my notes here. Kareem was 7 for 40 for 1 touchdown, and then anyways, it was all good. I've got 8,000 notes here scribbled on here. I thought Remigio did a great job with the initial kickoff, with a 63-yard run, and then Bucker with his 3 field goals, outstanding, and then Chanel right at the end comes up with a big block. My hat goes off to Borgo going to Tennessee. He's now the enemy, but we're glad he was able to get that job as a general manager there. So he's done a phenomenal job here for us, and we love the guy, but he's on another AFC team now. So anyways, with that, time's yours.
Let's come out clean. Wise from the game, it seemed like there were a lot of consequences around injury-wise.
Yeah, there weren't really anything to mention. Everybody got through it, and they're good. They might have some bumps and bruises, but it's all good there.
Andy, there were 2 particular connections between Patrick and Travis today. Or if you could just speak to each of them. The first, when Patrick was basically falling forward.
Yeah, well, that touchdown was unbelievable. I mean, the touchdown throw to Trav was incredible. For him to be able to get himself in position, just his body in position to make that throw, I thought was great. Yeah.
Do you think for a second he might have had his knee down? I mean, did you wonder that as he was releasing the ball?
No. I have a good view of it. So.
And the long connection they had early, that was Travis' longest catch of the season, and certainly showed some burst. Do you see that as a benefit of the rest?
Yeah, he can still play. He's all right.
Patrick do a lot of things. That play there that we're talking about, is that one where even though you're in the middle of the game, you may peek up and watch the replay on the board?
Yeah, I always tell our coaches, don't get used to that. I mean, this is unreal. I tell the fans the same thing. We're very lucky to have him here. And the stuff he's doing just doesn't happen. That's why he's the greatest at doing what he's done in a relatively young career here. So, I thought Nagy did a nice job of putting the guys in position to have some real nice plays, too. And then I should have mentioned Dave Tobe in there, too. Dave did a good job with the special teams.
And Kareem got his first chance to have a playoff game with you guys again. Looks like he had a pretty good burst. How happy are you for what he's been able to do here in this?
Yeah, listen, he's been great for us. He's really helped, and he ran hard today. And when we needed him right down the stretch there, we just handed it to him. And that's not taking anything away from Pacheco, because he's doing a nice job too. To have both of them, plus P. Ryan going in on 3rd downs and doing what he does, it's a nice thing to have from a coaching standpoint.
You guys were going back and forth with Chuny throughout the week. What made you go with Chuny?
Yeah, so just with the complexity of the playoffs with different looks and the defenses, I think Joe and Kellyan have been here. That's not taking anything away from DJ, because he's done a great job of working himself in. And we literally rotate him at practice. So I think everybody's got confidence in him. It's just the part that you got to start somebody. You can only have 5 of them, right? So.
Andy, first off, Congratulations on making the 300-win club. What
thank
does
you.
that mean to you personally?
Yeah, a lot of people go into that. So, it's not, I joke the guys that, you get a couple more, you might be able to equal my weight. So, and it looks like you're a forktarian too. So I'm with you. You can roll with me.
Coach, it seemed like a pretty hard-fought win for the team. Can you maybe share any of your message to the team in the locker room after the game?
Yeah, I'm proud of them for what they've done. This isn't an easy thing. That's a good football team. D'Amico's done a phenomenal job with that team. I had him as a player. Now I get to see him as a coach, and he's doing great things, as a coach. So a ton of respect for him and what he's done. But that's a good football team. Phenomenal defense that they've got. So I'm proud of our guys for how they handled it. And we knocked a little of the rust off. Everybody stayed positive and with each other and that whole bit. And here we sit with a championship game. I mean, we're humbled to be in that position. And fortunate, we appreciate that we're right here at Arrowhead. So.
Just back to the 8 sacks. I mean, I know Spag's game plan, but what stands out to you about why that worked that way?
Yeah. Well, the scheme, he's got a tremendous scheme, and it's complicated. So they had to deal with that. The other part is, the players playing the way they are. I mean, Brett's done a nice job of bringing guys in on both sides of the ball for us. I mean, we were this close on the offensive side, and the defense probably could have had a couple more even. So where he escaped out of the pocket. But the plan was right for who we were facing. And I thought Spags really did a nice job with that.
On that same to make those big plays in the second half when you really kind of need them in those momentum spots. Why do you figure that is that they make them at the big times?
Yeah, they're good players that love to play the game. I mean, that's we're sitting here. It's that time of the year, and guys stepped up and did a nice job. And Spags puts them in position to be able to do that, and then they take advantage of it. That's how that goes. Okay, good. Thank you.
Anytime you can get an opportunity to really, work on the body and get healthy late in the season, man, I'm going to take advantage of that all the time. You saw me do it last year in the LA game and so on. So I'm always appreciative of, the hard work that we put in so that we get those opportunities.
So you felt that much better today, having that big break?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, every time.
How was it?
I mean, I feel like that's what I kind of always, pride myself on in football. Once I get the ball in my hands, I'm a different player than others. It just felt good to finally make a guy miss this year.
You feel like you're 25 again?
22, baby, 22.
Xavier Williams says young Trav would have scored on that. Would you agree with his assessment?
Yes, I probably agree with that, but how young is young Trav, you know what I'm saying?
How much fun do you have these games?
Man, there's nothing better than playoff football, especially up here at Arrowhead. The crowd is always electric, but the feeling that you get from playing in these games with the guys that you work all year with, it's the most gratifying feeling you can come out on the top. I'm going to cherish it.
You guys have a big goal, so how hard is it staying
Not hard at all, man. I'm focused on the next task at hand. You don't get here and have all these championships by looking ahead. You get here by having the right mentality, complacent, and put in the work.
With the Chiefs' star quarterback hitting best buddy Travis Kelce 7 times for 117 yards and a touchdown and a pass rush that dragged Houston quarterback C.J. Stroud to the ground 8 times, Kansas City rolled to a 23-14 victory Saturday that sent the 2-time defending Super Bowl champions to the AFC title game for the 7th consecutive season. The Chiefs are the 4th team in NFL history to follow back-to-back Lombardi trophies by advancing to the conference title game, and the 3 previous lost. They will try to change that at Arrowhead Stadium next weekend against the Bills or Ravens, who play on Sunday in Buffalo for a shot at dethroning the defending champs. It's been a special run," said Mahomes, whose wife, Brittany, gave birth to their 3rd child last Sunday. "I still remember moments from the World Series my dad played when I was 5 years old. These are the moments that I'll cherish my entire life. The run isn't over yet, though. Not with the Chiefs, 16-2, cheered on once more by Kelce's girlfriend Taylor Swift and WNBA star Caitlin Clark, chasing an unprecedented third straight Lombardi trophy. Mahomes, who threw for 177 yards and a score, improved 16-3 in the postseason, tying Joe Montana for the second most wins by a starting QB in NFL history behind Tom Brady. That includes his peerless 7-0 mark in divisional playoff games. Meanwhile, Mahomes and Kelce helped Andy Reid become just the fourth coach in NFL history with 300 career wins. "I joked to the guys, you get a couple of more and you might be able to equal my weight," Reid said. There was plenty of joking in the Kansas City locker room Saturday night. Not a whole lot in the Texans locker room. They still have never won in 6 divisional games, twice losing to Kansas City in devastating fashion. Stroud threw for 245 yards but was sacked 8 times, while Joe Mixon, who had been questionable to play with an ankle injury, ran for 88 yards and their only touchdown. Texans kicker Ka'imi Fairbairn missed a 55-yard field goal attempt, a PAT try, and had another field goal attempt blocked with 1:46 left, which would have kept their comeback hopes alive by making it a one-possession game. "Knowing what we were up against in this game, we can't make the mistakes that we made," Texans coach DeMeco Ryans said. "We had a lot of self-inflicted mistakes that happened, whether it was special teams not converting, defensively not being where we're supposed to be in coverage, offensively not protecting our quarterback and keeping him clean, on top of everything else we have to deal with," Ryans added. "That's going to be an uphill battle. The Texans' special teams were a mess right from the start." The Chiefs nearly opened the game with a kick return touchdown, a bizarre play that ended with Houston cornerback Chris Boyd nearly shoving his own assistant coach to the ground. The Texans held Kansas City to a couple of field goals early, but their defense was unable to stop them late in the first half, when the bruising Kareem Hunt barreled into the end zone to give the AFC West champions a 13-3 lead. Houston managed a 48-yard field goal through cold, swirling winds to make it a one-possession game at the break. And that late kick seemed to have revived the AFC South champions when they returned to the field for the second half. Stroud deftly led a 15-play, 82-yard drive that soaked up most of the third quarter, picking up 4 third-down conversions, including one in which the QB scrambled to the sideline and absorbed a wicked hit. Mixon finished the drive with a 13-yard run, only to watch Fairbairn's extra point that would have tied the game get blown wide right. That miss just might have swung the momentum the other way. Just as they have so often in winning their last 8 playoff games, the Chiefs responded with a time-consuming drive of their own. Mahomes connected with Kelce 4 times on the 81-yard march, including the 11-yard touchdown pass to his trusty tight end as the 2-time NFL MVP was getting dragged to the turf by Houston's Mario Edwards Jr. "I thought it was going to be an interception," Hunt said. The Texans had 2 opportunities to drive for a tying touchdown. The first ended when Stroud was sacked by George Karlaftis on 4th down near midfield with about 10 minutes left. The second was stopped when Stroud misfired on back-to-back passes and Houston was forced to punt with just over 7 minutes to go. Kansas City proceeded to drive inside the Texans' 10, and Harrison Butker's field goal with 4:32 left put the game away. "We're fortunate we've got a lot of great character guys in the building," Kelce said. "On top of that, as the years have gone on, we only got here by focusing on the task at hand. And right now, this one was great. We're going to enjoy this one tonight. But the task at hand is going to be that AFC championship. You don't get a three-peat by looking past that. 8-7, Kelce, is going to show up in a big-time moment," Mahomes said loud and proud. "Everyone is asking where Travis Kelce is at. He showed the world where he's at." Statistically speaking, Kelce had the worst regular season of his career in terms of receiving yardage, not counting his rookie campaign which was lost due to injury. He accumulated 823 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns, averaging 51.4 yards per game. Going one step further, Kelce only logged one 100-yard performance this year prior to the divisional round, Week 9 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And yet, as the truly legendary athletes often do, Kelce came through when it mattered most with his best performance of 2024-25, Chiefs' Travis Kelce says anytime he's on the field. He's still got something to prove. While speaking with ESPN host Scott Van Pelt on the postgame show, Kelce noted that he's always got something to prove. I feel like if you're going to step out here on the football field, you've always got something to prove, Kelce told Van Pelt. I wish it was something like a flip of the switch, and I could just turn it on like that, but I think it's everyone in that building, all week long, really the past 2 to 3 weeks, figuring out how to get our bodies the best rest, and ready for the playoffs and a run like this. Kelce added that the Chiefs came out firing on all cylinders on Saturday evening. As for what's next, Kelce said that Kansas City will set their sights on winning the AFC Championship game for now. With a one-step-at-a-time mentality, I think we're fortunate that we've got a lot of great character guys in the building, Kelce stated later, explaining how the Chiefs block out the three-peat noise. He noted that the players in the locker room have urged each other not to get complacent over the years. Patrick Mahomes on touchdown pass to Travis Kelce, you find a way in those big moments. Mahomes also held a post-game press conference, as he typically does. When asked about the face-planting touchdown pass to Kelce, his response came down to one theme: you find a way in those big moments, and that was a big moment. As always, Mahomes tipped his cap to Kelce too, adding that he was glad that Trav was in that spot where I was able to get him the football. The Chiefs QB also admitted that as he threw the ball, he wasn't sure